Hey there, I am back with another deck review, and today we've got a bit of a throwback all the way to 2011 for a look at Tungstene from French designers Henri de Julien and Jacques Denain. Now, the pair initially produced this deck just for their own personal usage. It's a deck that explores creativity and ideation. In fact, the name Tungstene is French for tungsten, which is the material that the filament inside of a light bulb is typically made of. Light bulb being that classic symbol of a brilliant idea, really kind of made a fitting theme for the deck. Now, despite the fact that these were produced initially for personal use, they ended up pairing with Dan and Dave Buck to release a limited number of these for the public. And despite what was at the time a pretty high price point for a deck of cards at 20 bucks a deck, they sold out almost instantly and became almost immediately a hot commodity on resellers markets. And today even, it's still a really hard to find deck, a really rare deck. So very excited to get a chance to take a look at it. Want to give a big shout out and a thank you to Jonathan, who sent me his copy of the deck to check out for you guys. So thanks to you, and excited to get right into it. So let's go. All right, starting with the tuck case. It's done on a regular glossy finish tuck case and has kind of a monochromatic feel to it. The only color used on here with the white tuck case is this sort of deep, dark aqua color on here, kind of a greenish blue, but really, really dark shade to it. Across the top, you've got Tungstene playing cards in that sort of hand-scrawled font. And then this double spade pip. You have the one spade pip in the background made out of like a twist and crisscross of different lines twisting through, and then the inverted spade pip on top. Kind of a cool, fun look to it. Tungstene, for some reason, written upside down there at the bottom. And you can see, I mentioned French designers, so these were designed in South France and made in the USA by USPCC. The outside, you get some borders, including that little curly border that's again reminiscent of the tungsten filaments inside of a light bulb. Turning to the side, you get Tungstene playing cards, and same thing on the other. Bottom has some ad copy here. Like most of the deck, it's all done in French. I'm gonna try not to butcher too much of the French language here, but this one says, "Tungsten is the link. Jacques and Henri, the creators. The light is the idea." And kind of a cool little addition there. And once again, you can see these are manufactured by the USPCC. Now you're gonna see these QR codes all over the deck. These are things, if you see these, you can scan these like with your cell phone camera or something, and they'll reveal whether it's a website or just some simple text. You'll see these throughout, almost as little Easter eggs to discover little extras about the deck. This particular one, if you scan it, has a bunch of text in French, which translates to "one game can hide another." So not really sure exactly what's behind that. Maybe just a little simple message the creators wanted to include in there. The back here, you'll get a look at the back design of the cards. A lot going on to explore here, so we'll look at that as we get to the cards themselves. And then the top, standard size, original face. I think just a reference to the fact that these have custom faces. Now, if you look at these on websites, it'll mention that it has a custom gold seal. Not sure why it describes that. It is really what just kind of looks to me like a standard USPCC style gold seal there. As you open up the inner flap, you get some more copy here, all in French, and this sort of lists some of the games that you can use the deck for. So you can see like poker, for example, or rummy. So just a whole list of some of the many games you can play with the cards. And then the inner flaps here, you have what appear to be some sort of like numbers or dates or something like that. Not really sure what the dates are in reference to or what the numbers are in reference to. Again, just something that maybe has some meaning to the creators themselves. Nothing printed on the interior of the tuck case, and that is that's the tuck. So we can get all the cards out of here. So not bad, simple look to it. I like the look to it. I think it's fun. Kind of has that classic look, but some little custom touches on it as well. All right, now into the deck, and we'll start with the back design. This is exactly what we saw on the tuck case. Lots of fun elements going on here. It is a one-way back design, so you can see different images here in the central part. This is kind of meant to be like symbolic of a world bursting with ideas. You can see almost like the earth there in the middle, and then little bits, just sort of fun bits exploding out of that center. You have the plug coming down here, or the two people with the coil there in the middle, so almost giving you an abstract light bulb feel there. Lots of different patterns going around and forming the borders around the edge, complete with that kind of medium thickness poker border around the edge. And the pattern in here, you'll see, forms another 6 QR codes. So 6 different QR codes. You can scan each one of them. They're going to have some different sort of text. Again, not sure the significance of every single one of them, but I'll give you a real quick rundown of what they say. So this one just says Henri and Jacques, obviously the creators of the deck. Next one is February 16th, 2011. Perhaps that's when the deck was initially produced. I know it was back in 2011. This one has that same thing that we saw on the bottom of the tuck case. One game can hide another. And then down here, you just have Tungstene. This one has a French phrase that says, which translates to positively, insist, succeed. Not sure if that's just meant to be kind of an inspirational phrase of some sort. And then the last one says, Jacoto et Riton. I don't know if Jacoto and Riton are like nicknames for the creators or something like that, but that's what's encoded on the last of the 6. So very cool. Love the interesting use of QR codes. It's an interesting design element, but then to add that extra little layer, being able to scan them and uncover the Easter eggs, really kind of cool. All right, so there's that. You get a pair of jokers, each of which features these 12 different jester faces on them, all making different fun little faces. Really kind of simple line art on these, but kind of a cool, quirky, interesting look to them overall. And then Joker in the corners, and then some more just sort of French text here down the sides. So there's your 2. One kind of done in that aqua blue colors, that's not a true black, and then red on the other Joker. So there's your 2 Jokers. You also get a couple of really fun little ad cards. The first one here, once again, all in French, but you can translate this for yourself. And it basically gives you some different ideas for what you can use this card for. It kind of goes out of the box creative stuff. For example, this one talks about how you can transform it into a wedge to rebalance a table or a chair. So wedge the card underneath and balance a chair, or you can use it as a bookmark. Or down here you can use a toothpick, place it through this hole and use this card as a top. Or you can cut it out like this and use a piece of the card as a toothpick. So lots of different sort of fun, creative, quirky ideas. So really cool addition for the extra card there. And the other one, just reminding us of the journey to a good idea. So you get a bit of a maze or a labyrinth here to get this little guy down to the brilliant idea represented by the light bulb at the bottom. So very fun extra cards there. Love the use of those. All right, now into the main deck, and we'll start with the Power Ace, the Ace of Spades. Features that same double spade pip that we saw on the front of the tuck case, the maze or labyrinth style in the background, and then the solid one in the forefront, inverted on top. You get that coil border around the edge, and then Tungstene designed in South France at the bottom. Fairly standard pip and index in the corner, everything done in that dark blue color, and underneath in French you see the value of the card, As de pique. I think that's how it's pronounced, but that's Ace of Spades. The other 3 aces feature a much simpler look, same style pip and index in the corner, deep bright red for the red cards and that dark blue for the blue cards. But you'll see the placement of the pips is all kind of random and haphazard. They're sort of crooked and dropped in, almost like they've been kind of shaken on the cards. So kind of a fun look overall. And that theme is kind of carried through as you go to the rest of the numbers. You'll see just random jumbles of placement for the pips. Maybe something that makes it a little bit more annoying if you use this for gameplay, but as a deck to just sort of explore and have fun with, I think it's a really quirky, interesting idea. Sometimes they overlap, just jumbled all over the card, sometimes scattered off to the right, to the left, top, bottom. You'll just see them all over the place. So I like that a lot. For me, that's a lot of fun. You may find it, like I said, a little bit annoying if you're using this for gameplay, but I like it a lot. So there's your clubs, and then into your hearts, and once again, random jumbles of cards. All right, so there's your number cards, and then you get into the court cards. And once again, a lot of fun going on with the court cards, all fully custom. They are one-way court card designs, so you'll see some slight differences as you go top to bottom. as you explore the different cards. Each one of them is inspired by some sort of character, some sort of person, presumably people that are close to Henri and Jacques. For example, this one is a magician by the name of Dominique Duvivier. And see him there with the cards in his hands. Every one of the cards is going to feature a different character and just different sort of quirky ideas on each one. So you get the magician here, or you get this one with kind of a lash in her hands on the queen, the broken plate, the king and queen in her hands there, or even this guy with McDonald's and a Big Mac in his hand. So no rhyme or reason, honestly, to what goes onto each card, but really kind of fun, interesting ideas on each one. And in the center of each, you'll see another QR code. Every single one of these has a different encoded message on each one. For example, the Jack of Spades has a little quote from Dominique Duvivier, the guy who inspired the card itself, says, "What if we had a little fun?" Or the Queen says, "Jealousy is an emotion that gets out of hand." And then the King of Spades, "That being said, I'm delighted." So fun, random, maybe quotes that are tied to the different characters or something like that. Just a lot of different sort of randomness going on throughout. Most all of them are in French, so if you do scan these, you'll need to have some translations ready to go too. Here's another one of my favorites, the Jack of Diamonds. He's here playing an electric guitar, whistling as he does it. And if you scan the QR code in the middle, this one actually has the name of a song. I'm gonna see if I can pronounce this right. It's Un bon son brut pour les truands, which is a song that translates to a good random sound for outlaws, or a good raw sound for outlaws. Not sure, but it is the actual name of a kind of hip hop rap song in French. I don't know, I listened to it, kind of a cool sounding song, but that's what that one translates to, and you can see the musician there on the cover. Here's another one I like. She's kind of drinking a glass of wine with the broken bottle there. Or the King of Diamonds here. Love the sunglasses, the football with the bottle of wine in the other hands. And then you go into the clubs. So you start with the Jack of Clubs here. This one, if you scan the QR code, says, "I made him my friend, and now he is unique in the world." It's actually a quote that comes from a book called The Little Prince, a book from back in the 1940s. And maybe a quote referencing this little character that he's got in his hands there. So that's a kind of fun little one. There's the Queen of Clubs, maybe a designer of some sort or a painter. She has the paint roller in one hand, the brush in the other. Her quote is just simply, "The poor." I don't know. No clue what that one's in reference to. There's the King of Clubs. This one's a bit of a gamer. So he's got the PlayStation controller in one hand, the hockey stick in the other. So again, not sure who this one refers to, but probably somebody who's Canadian. You got the maple leaves there and everything. So another kind of fun one there. And then on the Jack of Hearts, this is one that I really, really like. This is one that I was quite a fan of. Has hit an artist of some sort. So he's got the spray can in another, and in the other hand, he's got the pencil, and he's kind of scrawled in his own heart pip there. Kind of a fun look to that one overall. And then the Queen of Hearts. This one has the quote encoded on there: "Beauty fades, but love persists." And you can see she's maybe a little bit vain herself, kind of looking in the mirror there. And then last but not least, the King of Hearts with a couple of instruments. You got the accordion and the trumpet in hand. So lots of different realms of creativity, video games, music, art, all celebrated through the characters on the core cards. Fun, quirky looks to them, and I love that addition of the QR code with the extras to go into. So didn't go into what every single one of them are, but leave you a little bit of something if you pick up the deck for yourself, or if you just want to scan them as you're going through the video. Just kind of a fun extra little addition. All right, so that is it. That is the art of the deck. As far as handling, these are done, I'm not sure exactly what stock these are. I think it's done like a B stock. It's a much kind of thicker, sturdier stock than their classic bicycle stock. And they handle really, really nicely. Very, very smooth handling to them. Dribbles, fans, all of that are going to be great. So really great handling deck of cards. USBCC, I think, always does a pretty good job with that. So no complaints on that front. That said, uses of the deck. Well, with the kind of rarity that it has today, I imagine most people who get this are going to leave it sealed or use it as more of a collector's deck. That's definitely understandable. But if you are going to break it open, you know, I think it's a fun, interesting deck to use for gameplay or something like that. Maybe even Magic. It's a little bit odd a little bit custom and a lot going on to really probably use heavily for those, but would make for a little bit of interesting gameplay. That said, I think it's just a fun art deck. It's one that once you open it up, you're going to want to kind of thumb through the cards, scan the QR codes, explore all those different little corners of the deck. So for me, that's where the real fun of this deck would be. But anyway, that's it. That is a look at Tungsten from Henri de Saint-Julien and Jacques Denain. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe for more deck reviews and unboxings. Let me know what else you want to see, and I'll see you for the next one.